This is my son Jason's 2005 GS 1200. It's done 55,000 miles now. I service it regularly and he uses it every day. I've already finished the service and taken the crash bars off because the next job we have to do is the alternator belt, which should be done every 6 years or at 24,000 miles. We presume it was done once in its lifetime, but we don't risk it. We need to change it again now. I think this appears a daunting job for many, but let's just see how easy it can be. First of all, of course, you need a new belt. This is from Motorworks in Yorkshire, £14 plus delivery, and it's exactly the same one that BMW fit, but not branded BMW. And then do yourself a favour, buy a 34mm socket. This will make life so much easier, and a one-man job instead of a two-man job. There's various things on YouTube that say lie on the floor with a bike on the stand and kick the back wheel in the 6th gear to turn the engine, but just get one of these. They're only a few pound off Amazon, and a wrench to do it with. And then a very important piece that Haynes' manual tells you about, cut yourself a little bit of plastic. You'll see what we do with that in a moment. So the first thing is to undo the bolts. I changed all these bolts to stainless steel ones a couple of years ago, which might give us great improvement on the bike. They also come from Motorworks. You can buy a complete stainless steel set of bolts for this bike, and it is really worth it if ever you can do that. So let me just take the cover off. 3 at the bottom and 2 at the top. So this is the cover off, and this was what you're looking at, and right up through to the top, which you can't see at the moment. I'll light that in a moment. There's the belt that's on it now. That's now the fun starts. The first thing is get the bike in neutral, and let's take it from there. First thing you want to do is to take the spark plugs out. There's a cover here that you just prise off. What you want is the primary spark plug, and many people don't realise there are 2 spark plugs on each cylinder on this model, right through really to the water-cooled ones. One here and one right down here underneath. This is the one you want off on both sides, a primary spark plug, so that you can turn the engine easily. For that you do need a BMW tool. This one is again from Motorworks in Yorkshire. Very easy to use. You just pull and there you have it. You'd have a real job to do it without a tool like this. And then 14mm spark plug spanner, and take the spark plug out. Do that both sides and you'll find it so much easier, otherwise your compression is great. Now you've got the release of the spark plug to make that so much easier. There you are. Just do that on the other side. So the first thing we have to do is actually get this old belt off, and that's where the piece of plastic comes into. So we just want to put it in there and wind it round. Remember, this belt is grooved. We've got to get it out of its grooves. So just take your time. The Haynes manual actually tells you to do this. So this is a bit of a muck-off bottle. It's empty, and you want to create that. Okay, so just prise it off slowly. See how easy it is, because it's not in the grooves anymore, and then it'll suddenly ping off. These belts are under terrific stress, pressure. You get that idea. You always have to look for your plastic afterwards. So here is a belt. You take it off its top pulley. It looks in fairly good condition, but it might have been on there for 25,000 miles. Now the hard bit. Okay, so your belt is off. How do you get a new belt on? There are so many things on YouTube, and some of them make it look very easy, but they cut and cut and cut because it is so difficult. So you'll see in the end result after sometimes hours. BMW make a fantastic tool. I've never seen it, but if you look at the video of it, it does look amazing. It's very hard to get in Britain. There's Vanderlick in America do one, and there's one in Germany. They are the best part with delivery and duty and VAT and everything else. They're probably about £200. And because you do this job maybe twice in the life of a bike, depending on how many miles you do, every 24,000 miles you should change your alternator, or every 4 years. Your alternator belt, that is, or every 4 years. Then you're not going to invest a couple of £100. But I've come up with a different way, a novel way. Here there are 3 holes in this pulley. They're blind holes. I don't know what they do. They must be made, must be there in the manufacturing process. They're about 5.5 millimeters, 5.5 millimeters wide. So what you do is you buy yourself a 6 millimeter tap, 6 millimeter tap, and a tap wrench. And that's the best one because you can get in easily. It'll go in that hole, you keep it straight, it's not the height of engineering, you keep it straight and you start turning, and because you're only going through a plate of steel, a pressing of steel, it will soon cut a 6 millimeter thread. There you are, it's going through, just going through a little bit. You only need to do one of these, you'll see why in a minute. The difficulty is holding the belt on. You can't do it with your hands. I mean, there's some guys out there who go to the gym every week. I think they can do it. I certainly can't. Cannot do it with my hands. Tried all sorts of other types of tools, and you'll see them on displayed on YouTube. They're very difficult. I've just got a little 6 millimeter cap head Allen bolt here. Take it in and do it up a bit so it's quite strong. So it goes in quite a way. So it's got some strength in that. Strength in that. Then take your new belt. Don't put the old one back on again. Take your new belt, put it up over the top pulley. Make sure the 3 grooves go in really well. Bring it down here. Down here onto the 3 grooves, and just hold it in a minute until you get it going. Once it's tight, I transfer my hand up to the top because it has a tendency to pull off the top pulley, and you do not want that to happen. So push the top pulley in as you're doing this one. And there you have it. Amazing, eh? So there we are with the engine running before I put the cover back on. Just to make sure the belt is absolutely in its grooves and there's no problems at all. A job well done. That little screw trick will save you hours and much frustration. Enjoy it.